Hey folks, it's me again, speaking Italian at trans to you. I'm not a good improviser. Anyways, I was thinking about doing like a romper room intro. Um, there's something where I hold up like a see-through mirror and I go, I see you, Taylor. I see you, Natty. I see you, Jennifer. I see you, Gwen. And I also see you too. Child with a weird name. But if you weren't born in the 70s, you probably won't get the romper room reference. So I'm only going to make a passive reference to that. So I've had another full day. Just got off teaching, so my voice is already sore. I am just going to speak in the highest tone I can consistently maintain. Hope it sounds okay, and just kind of process through. Kind of lots to report for this week. I'll start off by saying I remain estranged from my sister. After I read her The Riot Act, she has not touched base or responded in any way. So I'm going to assume we're in it for the long haul, possibly for the longest haul. My extended family have been very good at maintaining grudges. So anyways, so that's about as much as I got on that. Voice lessons are resuming on July 7th, so that's pretty awesome. It's going to be on Zoom, of course. So that's pretty great. I had a little virtual pride the other night with my voice group, so that was cool. So the biggest little piece of news I had today was your girl Rebecca had her first location shoot downtown since COVID. But also as myself, you're looking at my little professional attire, my dress and pearls and blazer and stuff. This has been in the works that had fallen through. It's not a huge shoot, but it's a good client. It's good it pays well for what I do. So they knew who to expect and all that good stuff. I showed up with a mask. I was feeling a bit more put together this morning. Now it's the end of the day, and I feel like the heat has melted all my curls out of my head. And I'm just a shadow of my former self right now. Anyways, I was up early, getting ready, packed my car, showed up early, and probably one of the nicest little side bits from me finally going, hey, this is me, I'm your photographer. I was, so I parked underneath in Phillips Square. I never know where the elevator is in that place at any given time, so I park where I park. I haul out my gear, and I find an exit door with some steps, and there was another woman there, and she immediately saw that she saw me in my blazer and pearls with like a bunch of dude camera gear, and she immediately offered to help me. And she emphasized, oh, it's so heavy. I'm like, yeah. I'm like, thank you. And I mean, this stuff is way too heavy, and it's only going to get heavier as hormones take their effect. So I may have to come up with a alternate plan. So whatever. But I don't think she read me as trans right away. So that was actually pretty good. She probably by the end where I offered like a soft thank you and smiled, and it was nice. And you just had that feeling of women are awesome and we treat ourselves nicely. And that was not something I would have experienced in previous life. It wouldn't have been offered, and would I've accepted it? I don't know. So just a tiny throwaway moment, but in early transition, your life is filled with tiny moments where strangers can be part of your story or your friends and so on. So every little tiny thing can be part of your bucket list. So, yeah. So already that was great. I put on my special mask. Where is my special mask? 1 second. My little mask. And so I had like one of these when I showed up at the office and called down. Yeah, I was waiting down in the office or down in the main lobby. My contact came to pick me up. She was immediately very warm and said how great I looked. And then by the time I set up in the office, she just kept admiring me. After I took off this mask makes me feel better kind of hides all the things I don't like, and then you can just look at my amazing eyebrows. But anyway, she only got kinder as I set up, and she just looked at me and said, I think you look really comfortable in who you are. And she said she was proud of me and stuff, and that's always cool when people say that. Then I set up the shoot, got along well enough with my client, and then I packed up and I was gone. So the only thing that would have made it a little nicer, I was nervous. Normally when I set up these shoots, I arrive, I set up my gear, and just before my subjects start to arrive, I use the washroom like a normal human being, just to kind of clear the decks and just be ready for what's to come. And I'd been stressing about this before. What if they send me to the wrong washroom, or what if they get weirded out because I'm not using the men's anymore? And but I didn't really have to go. So if I would have gone to the washroom, it would have just been, well, it would have been what I normally do, but it wasn't 100% necessary for me to operate at peak efficiency. And I didn't take the gamble. Didn't trust myself to not make it weird. If I really had to go, I would have had to go, and that was fine. But you know, the gender binary has created this Mount Everest of barriers between men and women, and so, you know, it can be affirming to scale that and just kind of go in that space and do my thing. And I feel better when I don't screw it up. So far I haven't screwed it up. But this was a professional context. I'm like, I was there for just a short period. So a little tiny thing I didn't, you know, fully accomplish, but oh well. Hopefully there's more shoots. And I think it just ended on a good note again with my contact. She was just got very pleased, and that makes me pleased. That was great. So yeah. So that was in the can, and I left, and there I was. And so pretty awesome. So what else is on my little agenda? I guess so. I've been, you know, having a little conversation with my voice coach. Hi, if you're watching. One of the things she brought up early on in our lessons was, and I was a little skeptical. I didn't know what to make of this information, but to treat your voice as a person that is emerging, that is kind of coming into the scene, but she's scared. She needs some care and love and non-judgment. And she's going to reveal herself to you as to who she is. And I didn't really know what to make of that. And part of me still has a bit of confusion. Like, I'm Rebecca, and my voice presumably is Rebecca. And so am I my voice? Is my voice not me? You know, but where it's useful is when I'm really hard on myself and my development. And I need to be kind, so I think I can treat my voice as this thing that I keep scaring away. So when I'm not speaking on screen and I'm just kind of speaking in front of people, she's not here. Here she is right now at 250 freaking hertz. And when I'm in front of people, in front of my class, I just like drop down back to there. So yeah. Anyway, I don't like that. So I guess I need to treat her nicely and not scare her away and say she's going to be okay. So, yeah. Anyways, that was kind of just a cool extra perspective on voice training and personal kindness, and not being too judgmental with yourself. So, other bullet points. Yeah. Oh, what else? Not so good news. I thought I'm coming up on a year on hormones, on estrogen and the blockers. And that is one of the requirements for applying for gender confirmation surgery. Something I want very much. Something that I think about often enough, that I have this weird daydream where I get a vagina. And in this daydream, I've gone through this procedure. So the daydream involves surgery, and I'm waking up and there's people around me and they're all looking at me and smiling and going, "You did it, you did it, you got it." And before I can even lay eyes on this tremendous change, the knowledge that it's happened makes me die from happiness. So it's a weird happy dream that where I'm denied actually just kind of going, "Hey, look, where's your vagina?" So I want it so bad. I can't let myself have it even in my dreams because I don't believe it'll happen or something. Anyways, so I really want it pretty bad. It's not the end of the world if it never happened, because the social change, the dresses and the presentation and the relationships is worth way more than, only having some sort of genital change or something. But anyways, I'll take it all if I can get it. And so I thought I was going to qualify at a year of HRT. I was going to qualify for applying for it, because you apply for it and then it's a 6-month waiting process, presumably after you've applied. So there's lots of steps. And I spoke to my doctor, said, "Hey, can we get ready to apply? We're coming up on a year." And then apparently the requirement of living as your true gender for a year, I thought that I was gone, but it's not. So that was disappointing. I said, "I think I've started counting in January if we're going to start living full time." And she says, "Okay, well, then in January you can start the application process." And I'm like, I've been on hormones a year and that's not legit enough. And I thought the stipulation had been removed because personal safety, you may not be ready to socially transition. I am, mostly. That's great for me, but I thought it had been lifted because it's not everybody's reality. So no, you still have to do that. I've heard some very good friends that say I should contest it. My doctor's about to go on maternity leave. I don't know what strain that would put on. And part of me believes that she would do it if she could, that her hands aren't tied. But I don't know. There may be room for her to advocate for me. So I was going to say a little disappointing, but it's very disappointing. I mean, it's just a lot could happen in another 6 months. A lot could happen in a couple of weeks. I mean, 2020 is a giant example of what can happen in a short period of time. Oh, so gender confirmation surgery. I'll believe it when I see it. And it's part of the transgender story to get that sort of thing just put on hiatus or on hold anyway. So I think just being my age, like, do I really need an extra frickin' whatever? So anyways, so not so great. But focus on today, my first shoot, moving and living like this, walking through the streets, fairly invisible. No one's really taking a second look at me, and I can be happy and proud to be myself. So that's freaking great. So yeah, maybe your exhausted transmistress will sign off here. Thank you, my increasing body of listeners, viewers, watchers. May this voice someday come naturally, come what may. So I did notice during my shoot, I did have like a softer demeanor with these relative strangers. Like I could just kind of turn it on more because I was only going to see these people for a short period of time. So maybe there's a precedent set there. So anyways, okay, I keep thinking of other things to say. So alrighty, thanks for watching. I don't know what that was. An accent. So long as I can keep those hertz up. Okay, right, thanks. Bye-bye.